One is the most experienced, specialized, and qualified operators that the Joint Special Operations Command has to offer. The other is the United States' last line of defense when all other agencies and defensive options have failed. So what would happen if a division agent and a ghost were pitted against each other, and who would come out on top? Division agents shouldn't be compared to an elite military unit in the traditional sense. Where military units are trained for specific tasks and missions, the division agents are a civilian agency whose members lay dormant until activated. The ideal division agent is loyal, adept, versatile, and in good physical condition. Their quick thinking, ability to make tough decisions when needed, and highly sought after problem-solving skills are just some of what the agency is looking for when recruiting a new agent. It is beneficial for candidates to have a background in community or enforcement areas, for example healthcare, the military, law enforcement, and rescue services. But this certainly isn't a requirement. Agents of the division are required to be able to execute a wide range of tasks. As hidden agents among society, they are often activated with very little knowledge of what's happening behind the scenes, so they must be creative, versatile, independent, and capable of operating outside the standard rules of engagement. However, once activated and then deployed, a division agent outranks all other tactical units in the field. This authority allows agents to bypass laws, regulations, and jurisdictional boundaries as needed. They can freely organize local assets, whether it be civilian or military, to help address local needs. And due to the secretive nature of the role, most training is disguised and worked into the recruit's daily life. Examples of this training is exclusive black belt only training classes at neighborhood martial arts studios, high-intensity workouts at local cross-training gyms with special instructors who happen to also be division trainers, advanced firearm classes or technology courses at local community colleges, again, all taught by division experts and attended by other recruits or active agents. Division agents are expected to maintain this year-round training for the entire duration of their service. Basic survival skills, combat, and intelligence training is also required to be honed through regular practice and exercises. The general consensus is that agents are devoting all spare time to training and preparation. This group for specialized tactics, also known as the Ghosts, is a highly classified, elite special mission unit within the US Army and Joint Special Operations Command. It is the Army's Special Missions Unit, whose members are armed with the state-of-the-art weapon systems and are trained in the best field and combat tactics. They are the most experienced, specialized, and qualified Special Operations Force that the Joint Special Operations Command has to offer. Their tactics involve striking enemies at their most vulnerable, swiftly, silently, and without being seen, hence the name, Ghosts. Ghost Recon teams specialize in covert operations in politically sensitive territory with little to no support. Typical missions include assassination or kidnapping of high-value targets, to secure or destroy sensitive documents and classified hardware, and the sabotaging or harassment of key enemy forces. Only the most elite operators are invited to become Ghosts, having already proven themselves in combat during previous deployments. While all Ghosts serve with a strong sense of honor and duty, they understand that their success will never be publicly acknowledged by politicians or public broadcast. Selection of potential Ghosts is from various branches of the US military, and they go through a selection phase which involves a grueling physical and mental test. Although from similar timelines, they are very clearly from different Tom Clancy universes. Not just because the developers have said so, but also when thinking about their specific functions, they wouldn't be active at the same time. The division takes place during and after the collapse of the United States, as well as the rest of the world. They are the last line of defense, and are only activated when all other means have failed. So in theory, the Ghosts have already stood down, or been killed in their world. Let's assume that the agents and the ghosts were thrown into an arena and pit up against each other in a face-to-face fight. Due to the Division tech being considerably more offense-orientated, I'd have to say that the agents would come out on top. But this wouldn't be fair, because this certainly isn't what the ghosts are intended for. If the two groups were put in a situation where they had to hunt each other down, it would be a different story. Their training and equipment all focuses on the ghosts being able to move in, execute, and move out without being noticed. The agents wouldn't see them coming, and they would likely be taken out before firing a single shot. Of course, location would be a factor too. The Division agents are plucked from society, tested, trained, and then put back into their respective neighbourhoods, where they are expected to continue training for their potential activation. A large part of their preparation is getting familiar with the environment, where all the vantage points are, areas to avoid getting locked down in, potential safe houses. Their activation has them helping their own communities, where they are in their element. While they both have cutting-edge, advanced technology and equipment at their disposal, they are built for completely different means. Division agents are chosen from all aspects of life. Although a lot have come from the military, not all of them have. They are regular people with normal jobs. They could be first responders, like firefighters, police, EMTs. They could even be teachers, or professional poker players. And while they have some pretty advanced training under the best of instructors, for the entirety of their service, they're still out there spending the majority of their time living a normal life. Whereas the ghosts are the best of the best. Pulled from US Army Special Operations, they are elite spec ops, using the best experimental classified weapons and tech. This is their day job, and have clocked in far more hours of combat time fighting a range of different enemies in different environments. Regarding their training and experience, the ghosts are on a completely different level. However, the ghosts work and function as a team, and although there has been a few examples of situations where ghosts have been forced to work solo, according to the lore both in-game and the books, the ghosts work in a squad of 4 where each member has a role complementing the next. It isn't that they are incapable of working alone, more that the ghost's true strength comes from the squad configuration and training as a single entity. While the Division agents are activated as a cell of 4 agents, they are trained to work completely autonomously as a solo operative. Obviously, there is considerable increase in safety with numbers, but their overall effectiveness doesn't change while running solo, and as we've seen in both games and the supporting novels, this is more often the case than not. So, although a team of ghosts would likely be far more effective than a team of agents, it would come down to the points raised earlier as to whether this would still be the situation when comparing in a one-on-one scenario. There is no clear black and white answer to the question of which one is better. They both have entirely different functions when active in the field. One has the best spec ops training and equipment available, and excel in using the element of surprise to capture or eliminate targets, without anyone knowing they were there. The other is trained to be the last line of defense, to save what remains. They are meant to be seen, to support and rebuild the communities they live in. Yet they are alone, and must be prepared for the worst to happen at any moment. There are situations that could play out that would see either side of this fictional battle coming out on top. But if I had to pick which one would be better, I'd have to say that the Division agent's area of expertise is far too specific to location and situation, and that the Ghost's arena would be considerably more flexible given their training and experience. However, I think many of you would agree there is another type of operative within the Clancy universe not discussed here, who if it came down to it, would not only outdo each of these agencies, but probably wouldn't even break a sweat if they combined their forces.
Nomad. Glad you haven't gone soft since Bolivia. Let's go. We need to talk.
Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this weird little crossover speculation video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers!